All right, as you guys can see, nothing up my sleeves. Don't have written for this. It's not a story per se. It doesn't really have a moral. Doesn't have, real definitive beginning and end. I don't really learn a lesson. It's just something that I find entertaining. So my brother opened up my door at something like 2 o'clock in the morning on like a Tuesday. And he popped his head in and was like, "Rowan, yeah, you asleep? Nah. You good to go? Yeah, let's go." And we decided that we really liked this video game called RuneScape. But we didn't really, we weren't very smart. I was about 6 or 7 and he was about older. And we really liked this game and we wanted to play it, so we formulated a plan. And our mom and dad, they didn't like us staying up late on school nights. And we didn't really care. We wanted to play. So my brother's like, all right, get dressed, let's go. So he opened up my window and he crawled out onto it. And we were on a roof. Our plan was to sneak to the local library and play RuneScape, and then make sure to keep track of time so we'd be back before anyone would notice. So we were on our roof, and we're 2 young kids, and we don't really know what to do from there. Our plan of escape was roof, then road. We didn't think of how to get off of the roof. So we were on the roof, and we were looking over, and Julian was like, "Look, you see, there's a tree right there. You can jump and grab onto the tree. You go first." And so I went up, and I sat on the side of the roof. This is my porch roof. You've been to my house. You've seen what it is. It's like a good 15 feet off the ground. And there are like shrubs all around it. This particular side that we were climbing off of didn't have your typical shrubs of a bush. It had a rose bush, which had a lot of thorns. And so I was there, and I was like reaching for the tree, and I was like, "I'm not sure I can make it. I'm worried about falling." He's like, Nah, man, you got it, go, just, come on, here, I'll help you. Shove, thwump, landed on the ground straight in the rose bush. I'm laying on the ground, on my back, sprawled out. I've thorns all in me, scrapes all up and down my side, and I'm laying there. And he pops his head over, he's like, ooh, that looks painful. Here, I'm gonna go down the stairs, I'll meet you down there in a second. So a couple seconds later, he pops out of the door and is like, "Yeah, you're right, that was a lot easier, we should have done that." And he helps me up, and he makes sure that I don't have a concussion or anything by going, "How many hands am I holding up?" Slap. And he punched me in the face. This shows you how much he cares about me. And so he's like, all right. So, grab a sledgehammer. And so I'm a little bit confused. I don't know why I'm grabbing a sledgehammer. So I walk in and I pick up a sledgehammer. And I'm a little kid, so I pick it up and I'm like, thwump. This one's too heavy. All right. Grab the smaller sledgehammer. All right. So we went over, we picked up a sledgehammer, because ordinary families have more than one sledgehammer in multiple sizes for, all your ordinary pounding needs. And so we decide that since it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it was too dangerous to take the street we lived on. Too many houses, too many people that know us. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, we decide to take the main street, the one with all the businesses on it, the one with lights on it, the one that people are on 24/7. So there are 2 little kids dressed in pajamas, because, we didn't really think about this, so we didn't change or anything. I think I had like a pair of matching dinosaur pajamas that had little orange dinosaurs on a camo background. And I'm pretty sure he was in a blue footsie onesie. And we were running down the street, and I was carrying a sledgehammer. And it was around the time when he was when he was being convinced of, supernatural stuff. So he's like, "I'm gonna bring a good luck charm." And I was like, "Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, what should I bring?" So I just grabbed my wallet. I'm like, what are these things in here? Maybe good luck. Shoved it in my pocket and ran off. So we're running down the streets. Every time there's a car that comes by, which on a heavily populated street is about once every 30 seconds, we jump into a brush. And so we're going down, and it takes us like an hour to get down this 200-foot long street. And we finally get down to the end, and we're like, all right. So there's this secret path through the little woods at the bottom of our street that goes to the library. Now, there's a bike path next to it, but the secret path is through the woods. We don't want to be caught. Let's go through the woods. Okay, do you remember where the secret path starts? No. Do you remember the secret path is? No. Is there a secret path? I don't know. And so we're crashing through the brush. We're crashing through the brush more and more, and we're getting scraped up and bumped, and I think I ran into a batch of poison ivy at one point, stepped in holes. I don't think I had grabbed shoes because, I got shoved off of a roof. And we finally got there, and we went up, and we're like, all right, how are we going to get into the library? It's like, Julian's like, that's the brilliant idea. That's why I asked you to grab the sledgehammer. There's this window that was broken a couple nights before, and it's boarded up. So all we have to do is get the nails out of the board. And so I look at him and go, if we're getting nails out of a board, why didn't we bring a regular hammer? That is a nail remover. But we didn't think of that. We were dumb. And so we took the sledgehammer, and we went up to it, and we were like, thwam! Oh no, the cops are coming! Ran, hid in the bushes, 100 yards away. Every single time we'd go up, we'd hit it, and we'd run back, because we were really paranoid. And so eventually we opened it about that much, and Julian was like, all right, just slip on in. And so I started to wriggle my way through, and eventually got through, and was like, all right, now just pry it open and hold it open for me. So he climbed in, and we got there, and we're like, sweet, let's play RuneScape till it's like 3 in the morning. That was our plan. Get up at 2, play until 3, be home by 4. And we looked, we as you know, Julian and I are great at, timing and planning. Immaculate. We looked out at the clock, and it's like 4:03. And so we decide, all right, let's just play for a couple hours, then go home. We'll be home before our parents wake up. And so we're sitting there, we log in, we're playing RuneScape, and it's great. Oh my God, RuneScape's such a fun game. You run around and you hit things, and then you get gold, and then you go and you buy things, and then you go and you hit things more. It's a grinding simulator. Pretty much all you do is you hit things for hours on end. And so we're sitting there, and eventually, and Julian being the genius that he is like, all right, there are computers back in the corner, but you should take the one right by the window. So if anyone comes, we can get out quickly. And we were like, yeah, great idea, because definitely people are going to be in a locked library at 4 in the morning. And so we're sitting there and we're playing, and I hear a voice coming from out of the window, and I look and I see a flashlight. And you all know that look on your face when, Rory opens your door at 4 in the morning, walks in, and you're on your computer. It's like, oh shit, I got caught. Now imagine that, but you're 6 years old, it's a cop, and your parents are going to kill you if they find out. And he's like, all right, you go and open up the front door. And so we listened to them. Of course we listened to them. We were young, we were dumb, we didn't just run. We went and we opened the front door. And like 6 cops walked in, because the neighbors had complained about a banging sound on the window, and there had been reports of people, breaking into the library before, which was my brother. It's not the first night he did it. And so the library, the police officer walked in and was like, all right, we want to make sure you're not stealing money. And that thought hadn't even crossed our minds. We're not real criminals. We don't do things wrong. After this, we were pinnacles of, society, perfect in every way, shape, and form. But they were going through and like, all right, empty your pockets. So I took out everything in my pockets, which was my wallet. And he opened up my wallet, which was, a little dinky coin purse. He opened it up and he went through it and he pulled out my library card. And it was like, so you're planning on checking out books, were you? And I completely forgot that was in there. And I was like, definitely. And so he was like, all right, just, where do you live? I was like, over there? And he was like, get in my cruiser. So he put us in the back of the cruiser, and he drove up, and he went and he knocked on my parents' door, and my dad went and answered it, and he went, do you know where your children are? And my dad went, well, they're not in bed, are they? And the police officer looked at them and went, no, they're not. And we were hiding behind a police officer, like in the last hope that maybe the police officer didn't think that this was where we live and wouldn't turn us into their parents. Because honestly, I was more afraid of my parents than I was the law. And so it was like, all right, we found them in the library playing video games. So normally this would be the time where your parents would chew you out. But my brother and I were smart. We just immediately passed him while they were talking to police, and we're like, we'll talk to you in the morning. We're going to bed. So we were walking up the stairs, and my brother turns and looks at me and goes, did you have the sledgehammer? And I turn and go, no, we left it in the forest.